Hey guys, I'm King Happy and welcome to another Redstone tutorial. Today we're doing the advanced bud switch array, and basically what this is the most efficient way and fastest way to turn your lights on and off for nighttime and daytime. So time set 1 we already got, so we go 16,000. Nighttime, we wait for 1 to turn on, then the array will turn on. Each of these 4 blocks here is a unit, so each one is a separate bud switch. The lights over there refer to each individual bud switch. So we'll see when one individually turns on, and then we'll see when the array turns on. This array is linked up to all 4 of the switches. So it's all down to statistics. When one turns on, it's completely random, but it will happen within a certain period, if it being light or dark. See, 2 of them are on now, and the lights are still on. See, this array turned on when the first one activated. 3 on now, 4 on now. See, you could have waited until then to get your lights, but instead we got it there. Now, what's the advantage over this than just 1? Well, it's quicker, basically is the only reason. It prevents as many more problems. Here's just the simple version. Well, it's just the stripped down version. It's the same for all 4. I already have a tutorial for this on my channel. It's in the description if you want to go look at that, if you don't have to build it. And this map, by the way, will be in the download link in the description as well. So if you have any problems with this or don't understand it, go have a look. So what this does is when the first one turns on, then the whole array turns on. That's the simple part. Then it waits for all of the lights to turn on. So all of the sensors have to turn on, which replicates it going through the night. So sometime during the 15 minutes of night, all of them will change. It's an improbable thing for it not to, so that will definitely happen. Then, when it comes to daytime again, when the first one turns off, then the array also turns off, even though some of them may still put a good signal out. So, if we replicate that as well, time set 1, you shouldn't really do a lot of these time changing because you can mess things up. So wait for 1 to turn off, there goes 1, there goes the array. Other 3 are still on. So if you're using one of these, then the whole array will still be on. 2 of them still on. As you can see, we've got the fastest going off and fastest going on. They came from different ones as well. Each unit is identical, trust me. You can go have a look if you want in the downloads link. This array here is the working version for how you should do it with it. Over here is the flat version. We will go over the flat version in this, and I might give you a quick look at this one. They're exactly the same, they're just laid out differently. So over here, what we're working over here is an RS NOR latch. If you don't know what RS NOR latch is, I've got Redstone tutorials in my channel, so I'll give you a link to the logic gates as well if you want. That might be helpful for you. Basically, in simple terms, when 1 turns on, this gets pressed, output gets turned on, stays on. Then, when all of them have turned on, it then allows the circuit for then when one of them then turns off afterwards. Bear with me. So, when we come back today, when one of them turns off, it gets reset. And that's basically what we're doing. But it's a bit more complicated than that over here, to make it work properly. So, each of these switches here are your units. Same way, each line going in here is the same as the switch over there. And what we'll do here is to show you quite simply. Over here is an OR gate. It's actually a triple OR gate, going to a piston as well as the RS NOR latch. So you can ignore this bit here. This is the alternative output of the RS NOR latch. This part here is the latch. What you get here is the ORs. So when 1 turns on, output gets turned on. Then you get to this bit. Signal gets passed through there. We just turn it off again. You'll see that there's redstone here, so that when one of them gets turned on, the signal gets pushed through, the RS NOR latch gets latched, then the piston moves, stops any more signal going through. As you can see at the moment, it's still latched, the output is still on. Doesn't matter what you do now. Even if you break one of the detectors, it will still be working. Now, the good thing here is when you put them all on, it stays like it. This doesn't change at all here, but it still lets you do it. Then here, if you go look around this way, the output here goes to the array. Also there's a feedback going to an AND gate, and we'll go to that in a second. Just bear it in mind. Over this side is the bottom part of that over there. This is the triple AND array. Basically it's saying, now some of them turned on, we'll now let you look at the AND, So when they are all on, this is what the part of it does in logic terms. When they're all on, then allow the output to be on. Otherwise, it's off. So when it's on, it comes through here, powers this piston. Same idea over there. It changes the circuit there. Redstone comes through here, comes to the other side of the AND gate. Now what it's saying is, in logic terms, when the output is on, so when at least one of them has turned on, when you're in the night, and when all of them turned on, so it's not waiting just for one, it's waiting for all of them have turned on, then you have the option when it comes through here, that when one of them turns off, then it will let it reset. So this is saying all of them are on at the moment. The OR is just the first latch, the AND is this one. So they are all on at the moment, as you would see over here. Sorry, these are the switches saying they're on. Comes through here, signal gets through here. Then when one of them turns off, we'll see here, if I can look around, one turns off, piston gets depowered, the AND gate also gets depowered, comes around here, comes up here, comes around here, comes in the back of the RS NOR latch and resets it, same as we saw over there. See, it's this wire coming in here, and then the whole array is off now. So output's off, but yet some of them are still active, and this is why this bit here is useful. If I took that block out, then it will reset it and turn it back on in the middle of the day. Then you're going to wait for all of them to turn off again. Now you're in the middle of day, and then it can all start again. So that's the principle, and this is how I've set it out. Try to be more space efficient over here, and also it's really hard to wire things up if they're in the middle like that. So in this way they're coming in horizontally, the inputs anyway. So basically it goes off, off. All it does here is inverts it twice and allows me to move a signal at the top. So it comes out the same signal up top. See, it's off, 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 off. See, all of that does nothing really, it just moves the signal. Same OR gates here, going to the block you saw over there, going to the RS NOR latch. Under here is the AND part. See, you've got the two there and the one there. Wired up slightly differently, but it does the same thing. Comes to here, comes the piston, a bit more compact as you see. The AND gate is here, sorry. And then when these are all on, as they're not at the moment because it's daytime, I'm going to show you it working in a second. Then the pulse gets put through here, sets that up, goes to the AND, we saw that bit before. Then when this is also on, the output goes to these, turns them on, comes down here as well, comes down to the other side of the AND gate. So it's latched then. So then when one of them turns off, this comes back, power goes up here, resets. Same as the other one, but just more friendly to put in your world. And you may say it looks quite big. Well, it has to be underground basically, or, well, these have to be underground anyway. As long as you have the glass coming up from the surface, so you can get natural light, then you can have it wherever you want really, but you can't have it anywhere near lights or anything, so if you have a light at the surface here, then it will mess it up basically, it won't work. So if it comes to night time, then it will still think it's daytime. So be careful about that, and look at the other tutorial for any mistakes you may make. A lot of people would just think it doesn't work when it does. You have to be quite careful with it. It is quite a tentative thing to do. So here we'll show you the nighttime change. So time set 1600 again. So wait for one of them to turn on, and then you watch the circuit on the left. There we are, one is turned on, the other turned on. The only delay here is the distance from the circuit, well, the unit to the circuit. You can change it however you want. You can use you can use repeaters, like, let's get some redstone out. You can just do it like this instead, and then invert it again, and just keep inverting it along. Oop. To keep inverting the circuit along. A bit shaky though. So that if the output is off, the input is off, and you can do that. That'll make it faster. I'd used the repeaters just to make it easier for me, and also there's slight advantages over it that you can not power blocks next to it and things like that. But over here you can just use the repeaters. It's easy. Well, as in the stick version of the repeaters. It's slightly faster. So now we've got 3 of them on, one of them still hasn't turned on, therefore we can't reset this yet. Oh, now it's turned on. If you sit there testing and not all of them have turned on, then you will not be able to reset it manually. You can put redstone torches down here to reset it, but this replicates the natural world. In the natural world you won't get 3 of them turned on, one doesn't, unless it's broken, and if it's broken then you should have tested it beforehand. I do suggest you test each unit beforehand, take a couple of days and nights, just to make sure it works, each individual one before you plug it in. Make it much easier. We just go back to the daytime. And I've done this before, but just making sure you realise what's happening now, as you can see it again. And wait for one of them to turn off. One's turned off. Reset. 3 of them still on. So it's the fast turn on, fast turn off. And I think that's about it for the tutorial. If you don't understand or need any questions answered, do send me a message, do leave a comment. I answer pretty quickly normally. And as I said, the link is in download. Download is in the description, as well as the link to the bud switch tutorial and my logic gates tutorial. And if you have enjoyed, please make sure you subscribe for more of these things. I do a server and everything else, which I'll be putting this into, which is quite good. And that's it, guys, for the tutorial. I've been happy. I hope you've had a good time and learnt a lot, and I'll see you next time.